Hello and welcome back to High Ridge Farm with me, the Walrus. You currently join me as I'm wandering around on the farm after having completed the chicken coop. Well, personally not, but got Robin to come along and actively finish the chicken coop so that I can now have animals. I've built a perimeter wall around it and I've got grass growing in the area, so I can make sure that the chickens have plenty of food to eat, which is the important thing here, as you can see it here. Now, I'm going to head on down, and I'm going to give the chickens, I'm going to get two, I think. I'm probably not going to give them particularly imaginative names, but my left and right tusks do need to be named, so it's Tusk 1 and Tusk 2. So, here we go. First chicken into the coop. Kind of wish I'd built it close to the house now. Would have made my life a hell of a lot easier. But I'm not the cleverest of individuals. Never claimed to be. Okay, so we have Tusk 1, the first of my two chickens, and now to purchase another one. And call it the ever illustriously good name of Tusk 2. At some point, I'm sure I can either rename them, or get others, or come up with better names. At the moment, this is all I've got, because, well, I haven't got any, unlike some other people I've seen in the past, don't exactly have a Patreon and a Patreon naming rights tier for weird, wonderful stuff. But, hey, maybe eventually. So, I think with the remaining energy today, I am going to go and just investigate. Now, I think Fridays is when the random wagon turns up. I always forget when it does. But might have something useful. I'm really hoping on certain seeds or items that are harder to acquire, or more so that they generally only appear in year 2. Because that'll make my life a little bit easier if I can get them. But I'm just going to quickly pop in here, sort out some of the wood, and deal with the slimes very quickly. Thankfully they're not too bad, but getting some fiddlehead ferns, that's quite nice. They'll be quite useful later on, generally, because they sell okay, but the fiddlehead risotto, if memory serves, is quite a good cooking recipe to have. It gives you a good amount of energy, and that's kind of something that I'm going to need. Especially going forwards, considering that I constantly run out of energy. But then again, I do have a low energy at the moment. I haven't actually managed to get any star drops and so on and so forth. And to the point where I've genuinely forgotten what I actually said my favourite thing was. I didn't realise that they taste, like the taste of them was supposed to remind you of your favourite things. The very first time I played this, I think I genuinely said that my favourite thing was my guinea pig. And that was a bit weird. That, you know, a taste reminded me of my guinea pig. I don't go around licking my guineas. That would be a bit weird. Although they lick me, because they're very odd little creatures. Very insistent on going, I will give you love, lem, 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 lem. Adorable. But it's very odd when they just start climbing up your face and start licking your nose and your beard. That's always very odd. But hey, animals, they get to be strange. Then again, there's a lot of weird and wonderful things out there. I would still love a guinea pig mod in this. It's just like a little hutch of guinea pigs in the house. That'd be lovely. Yeah. Yeah, I'm a sucker for rodents. I truly am. Now, I'm going to go and quickly visit my chickens. Well, the chicks at least. Because they are not yet fully grown. They are freaking tiny. Quite adorable. But I've got to put the hay out because... there we go. I don't have an auto hay dispenser as yet. Coop's a little too small for that at the moment. Now, let's just quickly explore back up here. Now, I watered all the crops this morning, and of course the sprinkler systems are getting a bit more expansive. Again, I do need some more of them. The more of them I get, the better. Because it'll make my life a lot easier if I don't have to water them. Because, well, I will freely admit I am very lazy. And being able to organise all of my watering in one go would be much easier. And that I wouldn't have to deal with it. And that will just generally make my life a better place. But anyway, I'm just trying to think of what other things that I need to do today. I think what I need to do is start smelting some more, refining some more quartz. I think I might head back into town and go and smash up these geodes that I have, because it might be useful. If not, I can just fling them straight in the vendor box and get a little bit of extra cash. And if I get enough cash tomorrow, I think I'm going to go and buy some more fruit trees, because the apple trees are about halfway grown at the moment, and the more of general trees that I can have that produce fruit, the better. Previously, I've only ever bought one of each, but I actually think an orchard style thing would look quite nice and also be quite useful. Kind of profitable in the grand scheme of things, having a larger amount of production of different fruits. And I know I need apples in a larger quantity for the fodder bundle, but that's not going to be too difficult because they are an autumnal plant, autumnal fruit, and I'll be able to harvest those with regularity, especially considering that they can store up to 3 days worth of fruit on them, and I've got 2, so day 3 I'll have 6 apples, which will be good because I need to put 3 on there, and I can use the apples for other things like the jams and preserves and other stuff, so they're useful in the grand scheme of things. And it's just nice to be able to have the different fruits, and if I can get all the trees planted before the summer is over, then I'll at least get a couple of days in the autumn where I'll get the autumnal crops. But the spring ones and the summer ones, they're going to have to wait till next year, unfortunately for me. Because, there's just a distinct lack of those crops, unfortunately. I just don't have the time to sow them. But, oh well. It's just the way it is. Oh, what does Pierre's have a quest for me? An extra grape for Jody. I don't think I've got any grapes. I don't think I've seen any grapes, more to the point. But oh well. I'm just going to quickly pop into the community centre and have a quick squiz, or a quick look, and see if there are any other things I can deposit. Aha, there we go. I knew I needed a fiddlehead. That can go there. I'm growing some poppies for that, which I think will be ready tomorrow, so that's good. Now what? I think that is the question, isn't it? Just having a quick bimble around town. Because the trouble with me is I know I'm a scatterbrained fool at the best of times. So trying to figure out exactly what I want to do, unless I've got a full, a written checklist, I will just be like, la la la, I'm doing things. So when I used to run a shop, I used to have a checklist which I'd laminated, and I had whiteboard eraser marker things and erasable markers, not eraser markers, that's a weird thing. And I'd be checking them off as I went. I was like, okay, have I cleaned the windows this morning? Yes. And because I am just so scatterbrained, I'll just totally forget to do everything, which kind of sucks. Because it is, I'm not saying it's difficult to run a shop, it's just easier if you can remember what you're supposed to bloody well do. And not get in trouble with your boss when he goes, why haven't you done this? It's like, because I'm a moron? Maybe? Apparently that's not an appropriate response. But oh well. Now I'm going to put this rare crow away. I don't really need that. But I am going to go and plant another poppy where the radish was. It's nice that I've got gold radish. Hurrah. Good old radishes. Now, question is, I've got enough time. I think I'm going to head down to the beach for a little bit, because catching some more fish wouldn't hurt, because that's something else that I can sell to make some money, and that's just an easy way of dealing with it, because getting some extra cash is kind of important. The more money I can have, the easier it will be. I also think I need more stuff from the river bundles rather than the sea. I can't remember which has more things that I require, but I have a sneaking suspicion that I can only catch certain ones when it's raining, so I kind of need another thunderstorm sooner rather than later. Hopefully in the next couple of days, because then I'll actually be able to catch some of the fish that are evading me, such as the eel, although I think that one's only available during the autumn. But, oh well. It's one of those things that, like, I probably should actually trawl through some of the mod lists and such when I hit year 2. I think what I'll do is I'll have a look through some of the mods none that kind of make the game easier, because it's one of those odd things that, like, when I download mods for games, I generally don't download mods that make the game easier. It's either graphical improvements or expansion bits, like more crops. But the trouble with, like, the crops and such, I'd worry that they might have a higher return than they should do. But I've seen a few in the past that are quite nice, so I might have a look in that. The horse was a strange thing when that was added, because that was an official thing, and I know there was an unofficial horse mod before it, and still seemed really strange at how fast you get to move. And it's like, this is weird. I don't like being able to move this quick. I don't feel right. But then there's, like, things like the tractor, which is just feels like cheating, unless you're doing, like, something like for a demonstration type thing. That's fair, but that's just the way that is. And I know it is an expensive upgrade. It's not like you can whack it out right up from day one, unless you've cheated and got all the money, which is a possibility, I guess. But I think I wouldn't mind having some extra mod stuff, maybe to expand a bit of room or do something. I'm not sure. I think I'd have to have a look and see what sort of shiny stuff actually is available on there. But if anyone's got any recommendations, I'm more than happy to have a look, especially if they're ones that just add something extra. But my idea is only doing that from year 2, because then I'll have done an entire year where I've tried to get my way through as much of the game as possible, and, well, at least the harvesting side, and not goofed off in that sense, and anything that can expand on the lovely world of Stardew Valley I'm always appreciative of, because it's such a nice therapeutic game to just play and relax to, and it's why I started doing this, actually. Just because Stardew is a nice game, and I feel that being able to talk in a nice, relaxing voice does occasionally help. However, I am an idiot, so that doesn't help in every way. Now, I've got some preserves, which I know I need at the community centre, but I will sell the other 3. Now, what shall I make? Probably strawberry jam. That's probably the easiest thing to do, considering I've got a bunch of strawberries. Or I could do salmon berries. Again, they're not valuable right off the bat, so turning them into jams kind of just makes a difference for them. It just turns them into something useful, I guess. But we'll see. Right, so we've actually managed to level up farming and fishing today. Good grief, that was quite good. And how much money did we make from our hauls of miscellanea? Reasonable amount. That's pretty darn good. Righty-ho then. So, on to the glorious days that is Saturday. I know, it's such a terrifying concept, the idea of the weekend. Ooh. Okay, so we've got a letter today, and the letter says... Okay, so you need a melon, Demetrius. Okie dokie. Well, unfortunately for you, I haven't got any ready. But I'm sure I can grow one within the next few days, considering I've got a lot there. However, I'm going to quickly scythe my way through all of my lovely wheat and get on with some vegetable harvesting. And on to town we head in but a moment. So, I know I've got a couple of things that I can put into the community centre bundles. So I've got my maple syrup and I've got my preserve, my jam or jelly. I do actually wonder what the difference between a jam and a jelly is. I mean, you get a traffic jam, but you don't get a traffic jelly. Yeah, I know that was awful. That wasn't even dad level humor. I was cringing even saying it. No, it's not allowed. Shouldn't happen. Anyway, I'm sure there's actually a legitimate difference between jams, marmalades, and preserves and jellies and all sorts. I think marmalades tend to be made with citric fruits, but that's all I can say from that one. So, I don't think they actually become a marmalade in this, do they? That's peculiar. Oh well, silly little things. Right, okay, so I need a tiger trout and a catfish. I think you catch catfish in the woods, the secret wood bit. I keep wanting to call it the Lost Woods. I know I've mentioned it before, but I always get a bit of a Legend of Zelda feel on that one. Okay, so we've got our jelly into the artisan bundle, and we'll soon be able to start putting things into the animal bundle as well, which would be nice. And once I get the quality crops done, I could theoretically actually complete the quality crops by the end of the summer if I fortune, as then I'll have 5 golden quality corn to then add to 5 golden melons, which would give me I think you only need 3 for the quality, which would be fantastic, and that would be another thing chipped away. And I wouldn't have to worry about the pumpkins, although I'm probably going to grow a bunch of pumpkins anyway because they're valuable and money is where it's at. And I'm not exactly swimming in cash at the moment, so yeah. But that's not too bad. Now, part of the rest of the day, I'm just going to sort of bimble around, buy some more crops that are quick growing, so it's going to be things like... Oh, I don't think I could get any more of those. Things like poppies, wheat, sunflowers, because they last over 2 seasons. Corn wouldn't be a terrible idea, but I know I want some more trees as well, and it's definitely looking tempting. I don't know why cherries are randomly more expensive. Like, I mean, obviously they sell for more than an apricot, but it's still peculiar. And I'm going to buy one of those apricot trees because I think that'd be nice to have and have a little orchard. As I've mentioned before, I'd like to have a little orchard. I think that'd be lovely. I wish I had the grounds and also an aged up enough tree to do that in my garden. When I was a small child, my grandfather had a beautiful cherry tree in his garden, along with some apples and plum trees, and it was a source of great pride for him that he had lovely fresh cherries, and I kind of miss that. I never really was very partial to them. It's not something that I've really gone out my way to eat. I will admit, but there's something that it's the nostalgia pull on it for me. I think that's really what it is. It's the same reason why I have morning glories planted, because they were beautiful plants I remember from my grandmother's garden. My grandmother and grandfather were married. They are my mother's parents, but they were both wonderfully talented, awfully green-thumbed people, like incredibly green-thumb. And I can tell that I have not inherited that in the slightest. It got to the point where Grandma accidentally grew a large weed plant many moons ago. She had some birdseed that hadn't been properly heat sterilized. And, yeah, she grew a 8-foot-high marijuana plant. And, it was very amusing having that conversation with my grandmother going, yeah, you do know what you've grown, right? And Granddad turns on and goes, yeah, I'll cut it down and burn it. No, Granddad, no, you don't want to do that. I love so it's because for me, they're both past, but I would love to have anything to remember them by, but not 8-foot-high marijuana plants in my garden. My privacy fence is only 5 foot high. I would get in all of the trouble for that one, especially considering weed isn't legal here yet. I would be nice to see, but that's not that I smoke it. I don't really care for it, but it's such a minor thing. But anyway, because that's a really random, rambly drug tangent, totally what you expect to listen to on bloody Stardew Valley. Anyway, I would be shocked if somebody hasn't made a mod to grow pot. on this. Or turning poppies into opium. Oh no. Why did I even bother thinking about it? Right. Anyway, let's get back to the joyous, wholesome crops that are not illegal at all. Because I'd be quite shocked if artichokes suddenly became illegal. I mean, it's not like I've got any growing, because it's the wrong season. But that's not the point. Anyway, so I've got a rusty spur and a random torch. I'm just stick that there. Go for it. And the rusty spur can go in the box, because I've already given one to Gunter, and he's already got one in the museum, which is nice. Now, guess the main question is, what do I do next? I think with the limited energy I have for the remainder of the day, because I'm less than half, I might go and smash up some rocks in the mine. Generally, it's not a terrible idea, and the further I can get into it, the closer I can get to the bottom of the mine, the better. And at the same time, I do kind of also need more copper as well, but I do need to try and get further and further down the mine itself, because I would quite like to get to the bottom, thank you very much, as I know that is a thing that I need to do. And I think you actually get a star drop from it, which would be very helpful considering my energy is quite low. I mean, I haven't eaten a star drop yet in the game to get any extra energy. But the trouble is, I might need to try and upgrade the pick again just to speed things up. But also I'm leveling up the combat skill, which is good, and that'll be helpful. More than anything is just leveling that up as well. It's not like it's a terrible thing to have leveled up. I mean, I'd like to get everything to level 10. That'd be nice. But hey ho, that's how it goes. Now, let's just smash up some of these rocks here. And that'll also help with the mining skill. I know rocks aren't exactly particularly experience heavy. But I am getting drained very quickly. It probably doesn't help that I keep missing these damn rocks. I am accuracy 0%, apparently. It's just like, I'll put a blindfold on and I'll swing the pickaxe, and if I hit anything, ha! No, it's not going too well. Aha. Oh. Stupid rocks getting in the way of me stabbing things. How dare you? I wish to stab. Okay, there was nothing else up there anyway. Rubbish. Well, looks like I'm going to leave the mine then, because there's not really much else I can do here. Not with that low energy, and considering I have no food on me, it's not exactly what it's not helpful. But then again, I do need to prepare some food in the long run, and as soon as I can get myself a mill online, then I can start grinding up the wheat into flour, which I can then bake into bread, and that also is the base of a number of different recipes anyway, so that might actually be quite helpful. Particularly if I can get something that increases my speed, or my luck, or both, or my mining skill, or any skill. Any skills. That would be helpful. Well, another, what they call geodes, so that's something else I can have smashed up by Clint. That would be good, because the more of those that can get smashed up, the more chance of finding something random. Considering I accidentally sold all my magma geodes like a complete moron. Oh well. Right, let's quickly hoik out the iron from the smelter. Now, I've only got one piece of coal, so I can only put one more in. That's another issue. I need some more coal. The trouble is, it's finding large quantities of it, because it's, as I said before, it's not like there's an individual copper lump node like in Minecraft that made life easier, but no, can't have that. Okay, so gone to bed and leveled up the mining, so I can actually transmute iron to gold now, which could be quite helpful, because that will allow me to, well, sell for hire if needs be, but also it'll be useful for the tool upgrades. And now on to Sunday, where it is a beautiful storm. Fantastic. Now, I do already know how to make a mackie roll. That might actually not be a terrible idea. And sunny on Monday. Not the end of the world. So, here we go. So, some of the melons are ready for harvest, which is good, as is the remainder of that wheat. So, we're going to grab these melons and hope that we get at least 4 gold quality ones, because I think I've already got one stashed away. And we'll get some tomatoes, lovely stuff, and some more melons. No more corn ready by the looks of things. That's fine. Some more hot peppers. It's quite nice that summer does have a lot of the multiply fruiting plants. Ooh, blueberries. Which is quite helpful in the grand scheme of things, because it's just something that makes life easier. Okay, and we're getting a lot of lovely poppies, which we can sell. It is somewhat annoying when it comes to flowers that they have the different colours, which each have their own different level of quality, so you could end up with just an inventory full of damn flowers, which is a little bit annoying. Not the end of the world, just a smidge annoying. But oh well. So we'll pop those melons in there, because I know I need one for Demetrius. I've got 5 gold ones now, so that can go in the old community centre bundle, which is nice. And I think that's what I'll probably do on Monday, is just plant a bunch more corn, considering it's not going to matter too much, since it won't die. Same as the sunflowers. I might just fill the field in the last few days with sunflowers and corn, just because. Just to see how much stuff will be worth. And the same with wheat, actually, because again, that's cheap. It's not going to matter. It's not the end of the world if it goes down. And it doesn't die when the seasons change, which is good. Now, I'll just quickly harvest the last of these poppies and plant some more of the lovely wheat. And of course, the nice advantage of chucking it down with rain is I don't have to do anything. However, here at the moment we are having a drought, and I could be fined up to £1,000 if I use a hose pipe here, because it's bloody hot and it's really annoying. It's a shame, because it would be nice to be able to water the few plants that I have in the garden that desperately need it. My tomatoes are not looking great. Now, thinking about it, I could purchase the eggs that are on offer here, but I don't think that's a particularly good idea, to be fair, as it'll cost me more, really, in the grand scheme of things, than it would be effective to do so. But oh well. So I'm going to go back over to the community centre now and deposit the ill-gotten gains that I have, which would be lovely. But there are some more fish that I do need to catch, if memory serves, because of course it's chucking it down with the rain, and there are some useful, tasty fish that need to be caught. It's like the catfish that I caught in the woods, which would be useful to have. But what other things do we need? Well, the carp's alright. I'll keep that, because maybe. I mean, it's iridium quality, but it's also a carp. So it's not exactly the most valuable fish. Maybe I'll just fling it in the box. That'd probably be more valuable than the carp itself. I've already put a wood skip in the community centre bundle. Already done that, so that's not the end of the world there. Now, so we're going to head on over and we're going to put the catfish in and the melons. And I am going to just quickly check. Now, where did I put it? No, here it is for Demetrius, the random melon. Because I'll probably run into him, you never know. But also, I think he's just going to give us some money, and money is helpful, for it allows me to buy more seeds and more trees and more upgrades. And that's what I want. Upgrades! Damn it, upgrades. Because they're really helpful, more than anything. But we'll have a quick look and see. Oh, another sweet pea. Wonderful stuff. I can't remember. I think it is the end one from the foraging that gives you always iridium quality, which that would be nice. I would definitely not say no to that. Right, so there's the catfish. I just need the trout. The tiger trout, even. Now, I think this little thing, the red snapper, is a when it's chucking it down with rainfish, I believe. I want to double check, but I did say to myself I will not use the wiki. That's not going to happen. But anyway, so we're now going to head down to the ocean And we're going to go and try and catch a red snapper once I quickly deposit the melons in here in the quality crops bundle. So I just need either corn or pumpkins, and as I mentioned earlier, I don't think I'll get corn by the end of the summer, as I don't think I actually planted any of them on fertilizer, which is a silly mistake on my part, but it's a mistake I made all the same. However, I don't think it's a terrible thing, but I still have all of the autumn season to do so, and I do have the opportunity to get the pumpkins as well. So it's kind of whichever grows first, and I'm going to make a wild stab in the dark and go with the corn, probably will, as pumpkins take quite a long time to come to the right, to maturity. Okay, Demetrius, you need the melon. I like the fact that you said it's for research. I have a sneaking suspicion he just wanted a melon. I mean, I like melon, and I would quite happily buy a melon and be like, hey, Robin, melon? Because it's delicious. And why would you not enjoy it? Now, the big coop is expensive, but I do really want one. I've got the base resources for it. I just don't have the gold. That would be the nice bit. Just gives me some more gold so I can actually just do what I need to do and get what I want. Now, let's have a quick go in here, because I can utilise the minecart transportation system to get to the slightly more southern part of the town and search this bin, which had nothing in it, sadly. Shadley? I wasn't aware that I was turning into Billy Connolly there. Is it Billy Connolly? No. No. No, that sounds wrong. Yeah, no. Sean Connery. I was thinking... Sean Connery is the yeah, no. I'm just going to stop bumbling there, because the more bumbling I do, the bigger the hole I dig becomes. Because, here we go, the walrus is a moron. Never forget, I am an idiot. But I like playing games, and I like putting them on YouTube, and I like videos. So, meh. Don't really care too much. So let's see what we can catch. Hopefully, it's a red snapper, and hopefully it's really quick. However, oh, we've got a hit, and the fishy goes up. Come on. Come on. Stay on the line. Do what I tell you. Hurrah! There it is. A red snapper. Perfect. That's exactly what we needed, because that's the fantastic luck. I guess maybe because it's raining, they have a much greater chance of spawning over other fish, because, I mean, they only spawn in the rain, so hurrah. Or if you've got the magic bait from Mr. Key. QI. Mr. QI. No, that's Stephen Fry. Oh, that's what I want. A mod that replaces him with Stephen Fry. Oh, that'd be so good. Especially if you had, like, audio of Stephen Fry being Stephen Fry. And then you could have Mrs. QI with Sandy Toxfig, which makes no sense in the Mr. and Mrs. sense, but it is a glorious moment. I mean, they're both married to their significant others. Not to each other, shockingly enough. But they both are the family of QI Win. I do love it. It's also frightening how long that show's been going on, because I look back at some of the older episodes and realise how young Adam looks in him, and then looking how old, and he's beginning to look a bit haggard now. I don't know if they're going to get to the end of the alphabet, to be fair. It'd be nice. I mean, they're most of the way there. I do also wonder what's going to happen when they hit the letter Z. What'll happen? Who knows? Anyway, so let's quickly head on back to the community centre before I start rambling some more, and go and deposit this darn fish in the ocean fish bundle. Now, I still haven't caught a damn tiger trout. I think you cannot catch them during the spring. I think they're only in the not the spring. Sorry, you can't catch them during the summer. I think they're only a spring and autumn fish, because I think I caught one many episodes ago. But that's what I need to do, is catch one of those and then deposit that in there, which would be another completion mark ready to go. Move, little Junimo, I am here. And I need to go to the desert, really, to get the sandfish, which is a little way off, unfortunately, on that one, but I can teleport to the beach now. That's vaguely useful. And you got the eel and the walleye. Now, they're night fishing. I don't think I can catch them this time of year either, which is a shame. Oops, a daisy. Didn't want to move the sword over there. Anyway, matters not. Let's head on back down to home, throw some fish and fruit into the vending box, and get ready for the next week, as it is the final week of summer, which is glorious, and I need to make sure everything is beginning to get ready for the autumn or fall season, which may require that I remove some plants, which I think what I'll do with things like the tomatoes and the peppers is I will clear them away when they've finished their next harvest. So then I can start reorganizing stuff, because I'd like to have the garden a bit better organized. Whether that's even going to happen is a very different question. But I do need to do it, because the whole place is a bit of a jumble. And I'd rather have more areas that are more managed, like this bit here, where I've actually got some vaguely half-decent crop placement around those sprinklers, because that's not bad. Although when I learn how to make iridium sprinklers and start getting a decent amount of iridium bars, then that's going to be a very different question, because I'm going to need to reorganize the farm again. But oh no, whatever will I do? I'm sure I'll live. Okay, but I think that's going to be it for this lovely showing, and I hope that you've enjoyed, and I hope I see you and catch you again on the next Walrus Blaze. Goodbye.